Hey, what's up everybody? It's Maymoney back again. Oh my gosh, for another video. I'm so sorry. First of all, I just gotta apologize to you guys. I've been unbelievably busy this week. I haven't had time to do anything that I wanted to do. I've just been having to go to work and hey, I've just been caught up way too much. So I'm late on this video, like a whole entire week. It is literally Sunday, like 5:30 on Sunday in Oakland. And I'm just now able to get my Walking Dead last week's episode review done. But we're gonna talk about it, and then right after this video, when it's done, I'm going to record my 100 reaction or 100 review for this week's episode of the 100. And then I'm going to use two computers. So I'm going to use my laptop and my little tower desktop thing that my friend gave to me. And I'm going to straight up edit them at the same fucking time. And then right after that, we're going to record our reaction to the latest episode of Walking Dead. So that's just what I'm doing. I'm just going to knock it all down in one fell swoop. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. First of all, let's get into the episode. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to mention. I think I'm going to change my scheduling a little bit on like how I do it. So I think I'm going to do my reviews first because they're easier and faster to upload. And then I'm going to do the reaction because that takes a little bit more time, but I'll also have it recorded. So I think that might help me like with better like time management because I'm going back to school and I'm working and I want to do this like because it's like something fun for me to do. So yeah. But so I think that's how it's going to work out. I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated on that. But let's talk about The Walking Dead, Season 7, Episode 13, entitled Bury Me Here. I just got home from work, so I'm going to spark this blunt. And where's my glass of wine? Oh, it's over there. We're going to smoke a blunt and drink some wine and talk about The Walking Dead. Yes. California dreaming about you. Okay, so this episode, first of all, I loved it. And I loved it because of the actors in it. Oh my God, it was just chock full of amazing acting. And it really just got me all emotional at times. And I was just so convinced. And I just like enjoyed all of the actors and their performances. I mean, they were just mind-blowing, outstanding job done with Kari Payton. Is that his last name? Payton? And then Carol, Melissa McBride, and then Carl McKinnon, who played Richard, who I fucking have loved since the first time we saw him because he just does such a good job. I think he's an amazing actor. And of course, Lenny James motherfucking kills it every time. So yeah, I just loved it overall. Sorry, I don't usually like to smoke during these because I like be coughing and shit, but honestly, I don't give a fuck today. So yeah, the acting was great, and I liked like finally getting the kingdom to fight back because I've been waiting for that for so long and just kind of waiting and finally got a little bit of payoff for that. So overall, I thought the episode was extremely well done. So let's start to get into a little bit of the nitty gritty of what happened. So first of all, the first shot, like with the melon in the truck, I was so confused. We went back and watched it again because I was like, what the fuck is this melon? Did I miss something? When did a melon become so important? And then we were just like, fuck it. Maybe they'll explain it to us later, which they did. Good thing, because that would have just been extremely confusing about why they're dropping off one melon to the saviors. But we figured that out. And it starts off with Carol, who's just kind of like having nightmares and not feeling right about what Daryl told her. She's like feeling like he lied to her, basically. So she goes and she's trying to investigate and ask Morgan what's up. He doesn't really tell her. And then we have Richard, who is like scheming hella hard to instigate like a freaking war between the saviors and, you know, the kingdom and Alexandria and everything. So that's like basically what's going on in this episode. So we're gonna start off with Richard because he's extremely important in this episode. So he's setting up the carts and stealing the melon, burying his own grave, and fucking planning to instigate a war between the Saviors and Kingdom and maybe hopefully some other people too. And the plan definitely backfires on him. And so they're pretty much setting up this whole thing. They dropping off their melons and they're short. And so the whole fucking like the Saviors or whatever, Gavin, he's like, you know, you're going to be punished for this. I told you that if something went wrong, you know, you're going to be punished for it. And so he basically has, like, I think in a couple episodes prior to this, he pretty much told Ezekiel that Richard was going to be the one to pay or like be killed. So, and Gavin like turns around. If you guys didn't notice that, he like turns around and is expecting, I think Jared is the long hair dude's name, the little asshole dude. He's expecting him to shoot Richard. Turns around and Ben's on the ground, legs shot all up, bleeding out of his femoral artery. And Gavin's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you can't follow orders. You're causing problems. You're starting shit that don't need to be fucking started. And you just shot a fucking kid instead of, you know, who was ordered to be killed or to be, you know, made an example of or whatever you want to call it. But it was fucking Ben. And it really did seem like Gavin was not happy with that. And we will talk about him a little bit in a little bit because that Savior is kind of interesting to me. So basically, Richard pulls a Rosita. If I'm like looking down, it's because I have my notes. I can't stay on track without him. Richard pulls a fucking Rosita, and then his plan straight up goes awry, and you could tell instantly that he feels so guilty and so bad about what just went down. He was supposed to be the one to die. And he was ready for it. And he even had his own grave fucking dug up and everything. And then it just didn't go down like that. And I felt really bad for him. But, you know, and I'll tell you how I feel about Richard in just a sec. But, you know, he thought that he was going to be killed. And that's the thing about the Saviors. They're very unpredictable. Even if, you know, like, there's one that seems to be reasonable. You know, if you have, like, some freaking, like, person who doesn't really go with the program, you know, you never know what could really come out of that. And Jared was kind of like that loose cannon pretty much, and it didn't go right. His plan was almost right, but then it just didn't go right. And I also don't know if Richard would have been enough for Ezekiel to fight back. Not sure. What do you guys think about that? But then we have Morgan, who's kind of like going out of control. Oh, and my feelings on Richard before we go into Morgan. So I like, a lot of people probably hate him, you know, I totally would understand that, but I like felt really, really sorry for him because he's under the thumb of these Saviors. He doesn't want to be, he wants to fight back, and he's the only one who wants to fight back. And just like, I can like kind of like understand his frustration of like trying to rile up a rebellion against them, and nobody is willing to fucking fight back, and everybody's just down to just be under the thumb of these motherfuckers. And that would kind of crush me too. Like, I would want to fight back, you know. And if you're the only one on the fight back train and you're under the thumb of these freaking oppressors, that's really a hard thing to kind of like try to deal with. That fucking sucks. So I feel really bad for him. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Like, I really felt a lot of pity for him just because of everything he's gone through with his losing his daughter and everything, and he can't even fight, and because nobody will help him. So yeah, I get why he was like, okay, like, I'm ready to fucking die. Like, fuck this, you know? If you guys want to be under these people's thumb, then so be it. You know, go ahead, do you. So then we have Morgan, who has like first of all, like, Morgan has never shown that he's very like mentally stable even to begin with. Even all of the, like, at the beginning, he's shown that he just doesn't deal well with like the world that they're in now mentally, which is totally understandable. But yeah, so Morgan has already like have been on and off crazy train since we met him. But then he loses like Benjamin, who they've definitely had like a little apprentice master relationship, and probably reminded him a lot of his son. He loses him to a stupid little melon incident, and I thought he was gonna like slit his wrist or like start losing it. Like I thought he was gonna kill himself. Good thing he didn't, because I like Morgan, and I especially like where they're taking his story so far right now. Like now I'm really interested. At first I was kind of like, dude, your passive thing, I get it, but it's just not, it's not gonna work in this world, and so you're gonna have to find a better balance, like a better equilibrium. So hopefully that's what he does, instead of like going all the way back to like where he was, crazy town where he was from when he was clearing and shit. Hopefully he maybe finds like a good balance between choosing when not to kill and then knowing when you have to. So yeah, so he starts losing it and finds a freaking melon that Richard hid, and like puts the pieces together. And then there's this scene that I really loved, because they were both together in the scene, and I thought it was great. And Richard's just telling his story about how it was supposed to be him, and how like he lost his little girl to, because he didn't do anything. He just kind of stood back and watched. And and I'm pretty sure like Morgan could kind of like relate to that. So I kind of like seeing how those characters, even though they're like, on opposite sides of the spectrum, how they're like more similar than they both kind of admit or really realized. So I really liked that whole scene there. And then Richard says something along the lines of like, we need to get back in their good graces and then like take them down in one fell swoop. And that Morgan is gonna have to kill, and the plan can still work. They still can get back on their good side, and then pretty much try it again, try to like take them out again, but more like so that they're not aware of the beef, you know what I mean? So anyway, so then we go to the next scene. We go bring back the last melon, which we figured out what that was for, because I was like, what the fuck is this random melon for? Please explain this. So they did. They bring back the fucking melon, and Gavin, who, the interesting savior, the leader one, what's his deal? I have a little bit of a question about him. Like, why do you guys think that he doesn't look like he likes doing that? Like, it's just kind of like his job. He's getting paid for it or whatever. But he doesn't like his job. He doesn't like killing people. He doesn't like being an oppressor. It kind of seems, I get that vibe from him. And so he like, do you guys think he really felt bad and felt like guilty for, Benjamin dying? Because he was definitely like, I'm about to shoot you. If you look at me the wrong way, walk your ass home. I don't know why the fuck why even bring somebody like that? Like, clearly he was the problem the whole time. Everything, all of that could have been hella smooth, like smooth transaction, if you had never brought that long-haired fucking asshole in the first place. Just saying, Gavin. But he makes that dude walk home. And then Morgan come up behind Richard while he's like mid-sentence trying to give the melon, which caught me the fuck off guard, and start choking him out and like smacking his head on the ground and fucking pretty much just killed him with his bare hands, how everybody's saying it. Strangled him to death. And I was like, what the fuck? And actually I kind of started laughing a little bit because of like everybody's reactions around. Like King Ezekiel's like, what the fuck is going on, bruh? Like, whoa. Whoa, what the fuck is going on? And the savior dude is like, what the fuck is going on? And so everybody was just standing there like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what the fuck? And I just thought that was hilarious. I couldn't help but laugh at that shit. And so, and then we kind of get the reveal about what happened, the beef that happened between them. And at first, initially, because I was so like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, what is Morgan doing? And then it didn't take me until like later, like a little couple minutes later after commercials or whatever, to be like, oh, he was following through with Richard's plan. Richard still died. He still got buried there. It just, even though it took that little left turn, Morgan pretty much brought it back to where his plan needs to be. So another thing that I'm wondering is Morgan, is he gonna find a nice equilibrium? Is he gonna is he gonna go crazy and like kind of just like kill until he gets killed, or is he gonna like strategically think about a way to attack the saviors? And do you think he did that like out of like rage or out of like thinking ahead, or maybe a little bit of both? Let me know what you guys think about that. So then we have the scene where Morgan and Carol are fucking, I guess Morgan just comes through after doing that little high jump kick with the spear. Like the way he came down on one of the walkers when he was just kind of rampaging. That shit had me laughing so hard because it was just such a little awkward thing. It just made me laugh. Anyway, and it kind of took me out of the seriousness of it, but it's not like I disliked it. I just thought it was funny as fuck. And then he goes over to Carol's and pretty much tells her what the fuck is up and what happened at Alexandria. I definitely cried. That just... I teared up a little bit. I didn't cry at that part, actually. But, like, oh, man, my friend did. And I was feeling it, though. Like, it kind of just, like, brought that back again and brought those feelings of, like, what happened. And he didn't tell her about, like, Daryl being held captive and Eugene also being held captive, but we can safely assume. But she knows about the situation at hand, and that pretty much puts her into fight mode. Finally, murder is back, which we needed, and that's another reason why I like this episode, because murder is fucking back, and we needed her, and I've been waiting for this shit for so long. So yeah, murder back. So yeah, that's basically what happened. She goes and convinces Ezekiel, and Ezekiel seems to have come around the bend finally. And now we about to fight. We about to motherfucking fight. So let's talk a little bit about what's gonna happen next time. Or in like an hour or two for me. First of all, we're not going to be at the kingdom, so I don't really have any predictions. I guess my questions were, was there somebody sneaking up behind Morgan? Or like, it seemed like there was somebody walking up behind him. What did you guys think about that? I watched it a couple times. I don't know what that was. He just like looked back and then like kept going and doing what he was doing. And I'm like, what the fuck? So we have that, and then we have, like, how will this season end off? Because we only have 3 more episodes, 2 more after this, and it's like, we've seen forward progressions, but out of different groups, and so it's like, when is this all going to start to tie together? And it's just like, how are they going to tie it up so quick? Like, what are we going to see in this episode to make it, like, start to tie together? Like, is there going to be some... I don't know, you guys. I don't know how I'm feeling about the pacing of this season, and I'm a little, like, confused. These last 3 episodes must be jam-packed with some crazy-ass shit if, like... Because nothing's really happened. Like, we've gotten this slow progression, but, like... These last 3 episodes must be lit as fuck, because, like, it's about to go down, and we're going towards a war. So, yeah. And will Morgan hold on mentally, like find a good equilibrium, find a good balance within himself to be able to be useful in the war? Or is he just going to go psycho crazy Morgan and start killing until he dies? What do you guys think about that? And that's all I really thought about this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Man, I'm definitely going to do better. I'm going to change up my scheduling to like time manage myself a lot better. Just because my new job and I'm starting school tomorrow, literally, and yeah. But yeah, fuck it. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna get this shit done. because winners don't quit. And yeah, so thank you guys so much. Like, comment, please comment down below, answer the questions because I'm interested and I still want to talk about this. And I'm pretty sure people aren't caught up, so they might even stumble upon this later or whatever. Fuck it. I'm just here talking with you guys about this episode. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, follow. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. I love talking to you every single week. Hopefully this review was good and thorough for you and we got to talk about it even though it's a little bit late. And yeah, I will see you guys so soon. About to record my little thing for the 100 right after this. And yes, peace.